Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC, a weekly podcast and YouTube channel discussing everything Wrexham from the point of view of long-term fans and brand new fans like my wife. So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. Just in case you're wondering, episode 33. That's a bit weird. The last one I listened to was episode 31. That is because last Thursday we released a special episode, which was episode 32, and that was an interview with ex-Wrexham player Lee Jones, which was brilliant. So if you've missed it, why have you missed it? Go head over and find that. So that's on our normal places, our YouTube channel. It's been released as a podcast as well. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, blah, 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 blah. So it's in all them places. So yes, this is episode 33. I haven't got it wrong. So head over and listen to the interview if you haven't already. Okay, so another week where another bumper week. So we've got two games to talk about. We've got two games coming up. Two big games coming up after what happened this weekend.
Yep.
So we'll start with Scunthorpe. Yes, Scunny.
Scunny.
What did you make of the game?
It was a bit dull.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a nothingy game.
It was very slow, wasn't it? It was very slow and some might say patient, but I'm not sure it was. I just think it was generally quite slow and boring, and it was very much a National League on a Tuesday night sort of game, which I think if you think about it, we want to get away from that. Yeah. We should be, especially a team like Scunthorpe who are second to bottom. Yes, we won the game, but you want to be winning these games, I think, sometimes with a little bit of
oomph,
flair and oomph.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Comfortably winning.
Yeah, we stumbled over the finish line a little bit, didn't we? And we're going to get games like this.
Yeah.
We knew that February was going to be tough, and we knew that games were going to come thick and fast, and some of them might be a little bit of a struggle. And we're not going to win them all really pretty. There's some of them are going to be hard fought, and we're not going to be at our best, and yada yada yada.
But could you argue though that we should be at our best, because considering the team that we do have?
It's a good point. Yes, in the depth and the strength that we've got, should we be at our best every week? Yeah, probably. When you've got midweek games, when you've got weekend games, midweek games, it cuts out a day of preparation, doesn't it, for the weekend as well? So you're not training as much because you're playing more. So there's that argument. You don't get the chance to work on things as much. You don't get a chance to, do your fitness training as much because you're playing.
Another argument.
Oh, full of arguments today. You have these days, don't you?
Really?
Yes.
They know that they play games on a Tuesday and on a Saturday.
Not every week, but yeah.
Pretty much throughout the season.
At the moment, yeah.
Pretty much whenever you play, Tuesdays and Saturdays are your day of games.
Yeah.
So surely they, by now,
should be used to
playing on a Tuesday, playing on a Saturday, playing on a Tuesday, playing on a Saturday.
Yeah, I think when the season starts, you're sort of like Saturday, Tuesday. That's sort of how it goes, I think. I mean, I haven't actually looked at that, but I don't think you have a game every Tuesday. But, I think a lot of things come into play, don't they, during the season? FA Trophy, FA Cup. Obviously, we had a really good run in the FA Cup. Not so much in the FA Trophy, but in the FA Cup. And then that knocks things about as well, doesn't it? And then you end up with months like this month where you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, every week. And it probably does take its toll. You're not getting the same sort of rest. I do get your point, though. They're getting paid a lot of money, Be ready. But what did you make of the game as a whole? It was 3 points, I suppose.
Only just though, wasn't it?
Was it only just though? Did you feel that they were going to get something from the game?
I did, yeah.
Did you?
I did.
I'd see.
Oh,
I didn't expect you to say that because you're always so positive.
no, I am. No, I am always positive because obviously, it's Wrexham.
Yeah.
But I just think at this, like, we've got 7 more home games
Until the end of the season.
until the end of the season.
Yeah.
So, at this point, like you said before, we should be beating people like Scunthorpe.
Yeah.
Teams like Scunthorpe, not people.
Yeah.
But they, like I've said numerous times in numerous podcasts, the teams are now coming to us, to the Racecourse, to try and beat us, and they put every effort into.
They looked all right, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
They
weren't the worst team in the world.
But having said that, yes, teams are going to come to us and try and beat us because of the documentary and because of the fact that we're up there and because of the fact that we've got money. People want to come and they want to upset the Wrexham train, as it were. They want to upset.
Cart.
Yeah, it's upset that they want to come and do that.
Yeah,
I get that. Although, if you go toe to toe with us, we should still be beaten.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easily beating 85-90% of the teams in this league. So that's fine. If you want to come and play and you want to go toe to toe with us, and you don't want to waste time, and you don't want to put 7 players behind the ball, that's fine. Come and have a go. But we should still be good enough to be beating these teams. And let's not all be, let's not be completely doom and gloom. We did beat them. It's not like we've come away going, that's a chance missed, that's points dropped. We did beat them, so it's not all doom and gloom. The problem I have is we were because we were so sort of laid back and sat back, we were sort of inviting them on. And inviting teams onto us is a dangerous thing, because at the end of the day, these teams that are coming, bar 1 or 2, are fully professional teams. They're professional teams, they're professional footballers, and regardless of where you are in the league, if you start inviting teams onto you, even the poor ones are going to start growing in confidence and growing into the game and thinking, hang on a minute, we might get something from this. In the same way, not quite the same, but in the same way as like us against Coventry. When they were sort of sat back a little bit, we upped our game, we pushed on, and then we scored a few, and then we were like, we can win this.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing, a mentality in my mind. When you're not on your game, regardless of where they are in the league, let's look recently, Aldershot. Again, we sat back and we invited them on, and then teams start growing into the game. Scunthorpe, the same thing. Yeah. They started, we give them a few opportunities, and they just started growing into the game. And I think regardless of where you are in the league, I think the problem with not being on it from the first minute is teams will start growing in confidence.
Exactly.
And we definitely saw that on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
We lost Bryce.
We did. I felt so sorry for him.
Yeah,
I thought, like, the 20 minutes that he was playing, I thought he did pretty well.
He looked decent.
He did,
I thought he did. So before the game on Tuesday, we lost Anthony Ford due to personal reasons.
Yes.
Don't know what that was, but for personal reasons, Anthony Ford wasn't playing.
Thank God it wasn't for an injury.
Yes. So Bryce came in. So Bryce wasn't due to play in that game. It was due to be Fordy playing in that game. But Bryce came in. And he only lasted 20 minutes. It looks like it's another sort of hamstring injury.
So is he going to be out for the season now, do we think?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, he went out about 6, 7, 8 weeks before he came back, give or take. I'm not 100% sure on that. I can't remember the actual game that he went out. So it's taken him a while to get back. If we go 6, 7, 8 weeks from now, we're almost in May and the season's over then. So I think it just depends. I do worry about Bryce long term because I think he could be a very good player.
Yeah.
Young, and I think he's still got a lot to learn, but I definitely think he's got some talent there that we could tap into in future seasons. The thing that worries me
is the injuries.
His legs seem to be made of straw a little bit, and he keeps, he comes back for a bit, he gets injured, he comes back for a bit, he gets injured. I mean, this is the shortest he's ever been back.
20 minutes.
20 minutes, do you know what I mean? And I worry for him long term.
Yeah.
That, is this something, at a young age as well, is this something that's going to affect his career long term?
Yeah, it's scary, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And I just don't know. I'd love him to be fit all the time. I think he's a great option to have, but is it going to happen for him, and is it going to work?
I certainly hope not.
No, we certainly hope not. We've got something beeping in the room. What is beeping in here?
I heard it a minute ago.
That's very bizarre. Anyway, shall we carry on?
No, I hope that it doesn't affect his career. Is what I meant. No, really.
Yes, definitely. The first penalty?
Yes.
In the game.
Yes.
So we had Mullin went down for the penalty.
Yep.
From where we were, it looked at a stonewall penalty. 100%. That is a penalty. And everyone was,
Can I just interrupt? I think I know what the beeping is. So I'm just going to.
Oh, are you?
Yes, I'm just going to unplug this.
Okay, that's
because I think it was my straighteners.
Oh, you've left your straighteners on.
I've left my straighteners on. Yeah. Go. So
anyway, back to the podcast. So the first penalty, it looked like a stonewall penalty, didn't it?
Yeah.
From where we were sat, we were like, definitely a penalty.
Yes.
Then saw the replay a little bit later on, and it was like, not sure that is a penalty, really. It was
we
very
were
much
cursing the ref.
Yeah, and then we were looking and we were going, I'm not 100% sure about that one, because there didn't seem to be a lot of contact. So Paul got a lot of abuse online.
He did.
Dive in as usual, blah, blah, blah. Wrexham always get penalties. The usual crap that we get, online. Usually from someone called, is it Notts County Fans or something? He's on Twitter. I think he tweets more about Wrexham than he does Notts County,
he does.
To be completely honest.
He does.
But anyway, but then Paul put a picture on Instagram, didn't he, of his the cut on his leg. I think what had happened was the player had reached out with his foot, and the thing that took him down was he scraped his studs down his thigh. And when you see him lining up for the penalty, you can see the blood running down his leg. So it was a penalty.
A deserved penalty.
He put it away really well. Standard 1-0, and we were very happy with that. But about abuse online, I mean, it's part and parcel of the territory, really.
We have discussed this before.
We have. I mean, I know, but I think there's a very thin line, isn't there, between banter, because during a game, you'll get a lot of banter between away fans and home fans.
Yeah.
You do, as standard. Some of it seems quite nasty, but it's not really. It's sort of back and forth. And then when, at the end of a game, like a home game, for example, it's always announced, how many of our travelling away fans, we always clap them, they have a little clap as well. Everyone's friends, everyone goes home. It's one of them. Online, it does seem particularly toxic.
Keyboard warriors, though, aren't they?
It is very toxic online, and I think where people can hide away, and it's not face to face. They can literally go, I can put whatever I want here, which isn't the case, because there are still laws out there about what you can put. But there are some horrible things that come out online, and I don't know how. Because Paul had obviously seen what people were posting.
How do you think it made him feel?
Because he posted, that was almost a reply. Because he said, some dive that was, and he put the cut on his leg. So he's obviously, as much as we might think they're not looking at this stuff, they obviously are. And they're obviously seeing this stuff. Could you do that? If you were a professional footballer, what would you do? Would you not look at social media, or would you want to go and have a look after every game to see what people are saying? Not only your own fans, but other fans as well. And would you want to see that?
I don't think I'd want to see people being negative about me. I mean,
No.
I'm the sort of person that, I've had this discussion with somebody in work, actually. I'm the sort of person that doesn't like to be hated.
No, I know.
I
know you.
Yeah, I know. I'm a people pleaser, so I think that anything negative towards me, I think would have an effect on me. I think you've got to have a hard nut.
Thick skin.
Yes. I was trying to think of it. Yeah, a hard nut. Hard nut, thick skin.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here because you always know what I want to say.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think you do have to have a thick skin. Thick skin. Oh my God. To be in this kind of industry.
Yeah.
But is Paul? Does it affect Paul?
I don't know. I don't know. It's one of them. I was just interested.
He's a Scouser, so he's probably like, yeah.
Scousers have feelings too.
I know they have feelings, but what I'm saying is,
I know what you mean.
I love Scousers. I think they're brilliant.
Ours is pretty good. Anyway,
aside from Welsh people, I like the Scousers. Yeah.
So there's a lot of misplaced passes, wasn't there, on Tuesday?
Yeah.
We were passing James Jones. I think that was.
He's getting tired now.
No, because he's not playing that much at the moment. So
no,
it's. I think he had a particularly, not to call him out, just him, but I do remember. He had so many misplaced passes.
Yeah.
They were either going out of play or to their, they were playing in, bright colours, and they were easy to spot. And
they were, to be fair.
And the misplaced passes were just continuous.
Yeah.
And the other problem I found was, the hole was back in the middle on Tuesday night.
I asked you about the hole, didn't I?
You did ask me about the hole, yeah. And, it's there to see. You as a new fan, and somebody who is, even though it's been a year, you're still learning the game. It's stuff that comes naturally to people who played football back in the day or watched football from when they were like 8 years old. But, even... This sounds horrible, but even you are starting to spot that hole in the minute. I know, it sounds awful, that. But, you're starting to spot that big hole that we've got in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And the other problem is, we've got Elliot Lee, arguably one of the best ball carriers and technicians in the whole league. And a lot of the time we're just bypassing him because we're getting the ball and we're just lofting it over, and on Tuesday night, that wasn't working.
No.
We were knocking these. They had two massive centre halves. And
oh my God, they were huge.
They were massive. You picked one of them out at the start of the game. You go, oh my God, look at him. He's a brute.
He's a giant.
Absolute brute. But that's what they are. They're going to bank on their two massive centre halves swallowing up any long balls that come to them. With someone like Lee.
He's only little.
He is only little.
Lee.
But on games like that, for me, you should be playing the ball into him.
Yeah.
And go and do what you do.
Do your little footwork.
Not bypassing him over the top and hoping he's going to get the second ball. So, do you know what I mean by second ball? No. So the second. So when you play a baller,
the baller comes after the first.
When you play the baller, the first ball is when you are challenging for that ball.
Yeah.
So that will generally be Ollie in like on Tuesday night. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first ball. The second ball is anything that comes off that. So the second, so it goes up in the air. Ollie and the defender are challenging for it. That's the first ball.
Mm-hmm.
When it drops off them, whichever way it goes, that becomes the second ball.
Okay.
And it's really important to be winning the second ball, because if you're playing the ball long, you're playing it long to ultimately get a knockdown to somebody else. And then that is the second ball. Again, we were poor at that on Tuesday night. I think that what you're banking on is someone like Elliot being there for the second ball. But nothing came off for us on Tuesday night at all. The corners were poor all night. Luke's corners were awful, I thought, on Tuesday night. I don't remember. You always have that look in you. Oh, don't talk bad.
Don't talk about my Luke like that.
No, but I thought his corners were terrible on Tuesday. The long throws, again, completely ineffective on Tuesday night. They weren't working. And the thing that does annoy me is to persist with something that isn't working. It's not working. This isn't working. This isn't working.
Well, keep on doing it, though.
Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it.
It'll get better. It'll get better.
It didn't work all game. You know, there's an argument there, isn't there? Keep going, keep going, keep going. If you get a goal in the 90th minute,
it worked.
And then you go, it doesn't matter, it didn't work for 89 minutes. It worked at the end. But sometimes it feels like they're banging their head against a brick wall and they're never going to get through it. And I just think Tuesday was crying out for someone like Elliot Lee to have more of the ball and take a little bit more control of that, which I think he probably did in the second half. But yeah.
It was a better second half.
It was definitely a better second half. We got the second penalty. So Jordan Davis came on.
Glad to have him back.
Very glad to have him back. It was his shot that the keeper fumbled that Paul went in for, and then Paul went over for the second penalty.
Yeah.
Dispatched that one. Not as good as the first one, but
dispatched it.
Dispatched that one, yeah. And then, you know, we got to 2-0. We've talked about a wobble before, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it sort of felt that on Tuesday night, I said, I think a couple of times, that I think this is our wobble now. You know, we dropped points against Woking. We hadn't played well against Aldershot. Even though we got the 3 points, we didn't play well against Scunthorpe at all. But we come away from them games with 7 points.
And that's what you want.
That is what you want. And if last season our wobble resulted in us losing games and hemorrhaging points left, right, and centre.
Yeah. You're very swallowy today.
Yeah, no, sorry. It meant we hemorrhaged points.
Yeah.
You know, at left, right, and centre. If this is our wobble, which I hope it is this season, we're not really dropping points, are we?
No.
We played a very good team in Woking where we dropped 2 points. You know, and that I think that was okay. You know, it's, you know, we're all right to drop points against people like that. I think when you start dropping points against people like Scunthorpe and against people like Dorking or Oldham, that's when it becomes a problem, which I think potentially that was our wobble last season when we were dropping these points against teams
so close to the end of the season as well.
And if this is our wobble and we're just dropping, you know, 2 points, you know, and
we don't want to drop any points.
No, we
really,
don't.
do we?
But
Not
you know, if this is our wobble, so be it. We're still winning games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I thought it was all good. I think we probably should have had a third penalty on the night. Yeah. I think the ref had enough of giving us penalties.
He was crap though, wasn't he?
He was awful, and we can't keep
the linesman as well was pretty.
Yeah,
shocking.
we can't keep discussing
how crap they are.
How crap the referees are week in, week out.
I don't think it's going to change. We need to get out of this league, don't we?
Yeah, I think that's you've hit the nail absolutely on the head.
Well, thank you.
The refs in this league are not going to change. They're not. They're poor, and I wish they were better. We all wish they were better, but they're not. And a history has dictated, you know, the last 15 years have dictated that the refs in this league are not very good. And we saw it on Tuesday night. Yeah, we got 2 penalties, but some of the decisions were awful. And not just decisions going against us, but the decisions that were going for us. You know, like I've said 100 times before on this podcast, it was decisions for both teams.
Yeah.
He was just getting them all wrong. They were just practically... everything that should have been going to them was coming to us, and the other way round. You know, they just weren't getting anything right. You know, they handballed it towards the end. The ref gave a free kick outside the box. It was about a yard inside. You know, it was probably, if he was going to give a free kick, it was the clearest penalty of the night, I think, to be perfectly honest. But and it was just awful. But
it was. And then Saturday's game, Dorking.
Yeah.
Well,
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
No, it was. It was a much better game.
It was.
I thought that, because obviously we've just done, I know we're going to be obviously talking about this, but we've just obviously brought in Ryan Barnett.
Yes.
He was on the bench.
Yeah.
I actually thought that Parky would have, you know, once we'd reached, 2-0, I thought maybe.
Or 3 even.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he'll give him a little debut.
Yeah, a little run out.
A little run out, and but no, he didn't.
He didn't. No, and I thought the same as you. To be honest, you know, you got a new signing. You want to. get him some minutes on the pitch. When you're 3-0 up, might be the perfect opportunity, really, mightn't it? Just to bring him on, introduce him to the fans, see what he can do for 5 or 10 minutes. Would have been quite nice.
It would have been. And it would have been nice for him as well. But
I think so, but no.
Parky decided.
Parky decided, no, he did. So Rob Langton started. So that is his second game in a row that he has started.
How weird is it, though, that we were talking about before Rob Langton, because obviously Rob Langton played in the Sheffield game.
Sheffield United game, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sheffield United game. I get told off about this all the time.
Yeah, but there's 2 teams in Sheffield.
I know. Anyway, obviously he played for the in the FA Cup game against Sheffield United.
Yeah, the replay. Yeah.
The replay. And he did really well.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh my God, bring back Langton."
Yeah.
So the game on Tuesday.
Yes.
Langton played.
Yes.
Did very well.
Yeah.
And then he played again on Saturday against Dorking.
He did.
Again. Fabulous.
He did very well.
Kiss.
Yeah.
He was very good.
Chef's kiss.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
I think now he should be in the sticks.
That is my question.
Yes, I do think
is that him in now?
Yeah. I obviously, because I haven't really seen Langton play, obviously. I mean, I've seen him a couple of times.
Yeah.
But now he's in.
Yeah.
I really like Langton.
Yes.
I do. I think I don't know if it's because he's younger.
Yeah.
He's he's been quite rested.
I'm not sure a serious injury would be considered as rested, but because you're working quite hard to come back from that injury. Yeah. But I get what you mean. Minutes on the pitch.
Exactly, and I just think, I've got nothing against Howard whatsoever because he's done amazingly for us.
Yeah.
But I just think now, last few games, let's let Langton do his thing.
I think Tuesday is going to be a very interesting. Do
you think Langton will play on Tuesday against Sheffield?
This is the question now. I think what you will find is your number one keeper for the rest of the season will be on display on Tuesday night. I think if Langton plays on Tuesday,
that's it for the season.
He's in, and that's it, and that's what Parky wants for the rest of the season. If Howard comes back on Tuesday night, then I think that is Howard back in. You've rested him for a couple of games. Leighton's had come in, done very well. Right, let's get the first choice back in. That's Mark Howard. I think whoever is between the sticks on Tuesday
is going
to be our goalkeeper for the rest of the season. That is my opinion, because I did initially think, right, okay, Langton played on Tuesday. If he plays on Saturday, that's it. He's in for the rest of the season. But, and no offence to Dorking here, but it was Dorking. It was only Dorking. And I think he felt that, it's a team lower down in the league, and we can, if we can afford to put a potentially second choice goalkeeper in, whatever people's opinions are, a second choice goalkeeper in, we can afford to do that, and we can rest Mark for a little bit longer. So you just don't know. And then now I've sort of realised, okay, forget them 2 games. It's Tuesday that's going to decide it. I don't think you put, if Langton's his number 2, Parky's number 2 in his head, you don't put a number 2 goalkeeper in for 3 games in a row. In my opinion, you don't. So it's a case of, if he plays Tuesday, that indicates to me that Langton isn't the number 2. Langton is the number 1.
Sadly,
yes.
If Langton hadn't got injured, he would have still been our number 1 goalkeeper.
If Langton hadn't got injured, Mark Howard wouldn't even be here.
So it's like, I think it's...
Dibble would probably still be here as well.
Yeah.
So, Mark wouldn't even be here if Rob hadn't got injured. So I think Tuesday's it'll be a good indicator about where Parky's head's at.
We shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
So Lee scored a stormer.
He did, a worldie.
It's good to get an early goal, though, isn't it? To settle everything down.
12 minutes in it was.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, well done. I was going to say the first 10 minutes, but, I'm glad you've corrected that. It was a great goal. Do you know the thing that annoyed me? Right, I'm going to say it now. So, Wrexham player, we go to the games, but I like to watch the highlights back as well, just in case there's anything I've missed. Make a few notes, You get very excited during a game, don't you? So it's like, it's good to watch it. It's good to watch it back.
Yeah.
For some reason, we only had shortened highlights this week from Wrexham player. Anyone want to comment on that? That's what's going on?
It was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Elliot Lee's
and
goal.
No replays either.
No, I was looking forward to seeing Elliot Lee's goal from lots of different camera angles, and because it looked like it went right in the top corner. So I was looking forward to seeing it in, from quite a few different angles. Didn't get that. Got to see it once in normal time, no replays, nothing at all. So that was a little bit odd. And it annoyed me because it was an absolute cracker that he scored. And I think, like we say, it's good to get an early goal.
Yep.
Settle everything down.
Yep.
And I think, it was good. What did you make of Dorking?
I thought they were okay.
Yes. Semi-professional, remember?
Oh, are they?
Yes. So they are one of only 2 semi-professional teams in the league.
They have other jobs.
I'm not sure. They might be paying some of their players enough to not have other jobs, but they are semi-professional. So
we'll go through a cost of living crisis.
Yeah,
so, maybe.
Yeah. So they like I've spoke about Dorking before. They had a sort of 5-year plan. And being in the National League now is a little bit ahead of where they thought they were going to be.
Semi-professionals,
I think the other team is Maidstone, a semi-professional as well. Everyone else is fully professional. I think it's them two that are semi-professional at the moment.
Well, I never knew that.
Yeah, so they're obviously not training as
all
much
as
as the other teams in the league. But I thought they acquitted themselves quite well, to be honest. I think going forward, they look decent. They look all right. I never really felt, they had a couple of chances, a few scrambles in the box, things like that. And I thought they were quite slick and they were quite nice to watch.
They did score a goal.
Yeah, that later on they did, but they're quite slick and they, going forward, I thought they were very good.
Should we have conceded that goal though?
No. I mean, 2 things about that goal that we conceded. One, it was an amazing leap and header. And that was right, and it was in the top corner. No one was stopping that.
I think even me and you clapped that goal.
Yeah, it was a great header.
It was.
But there's an argument. I think we're going back to the Aldershot game. I made a point where the cross came in. You had Tozer at the front post. You had Tunnicliffe behind.
Yeah.
And the striker was completely unmarked in between the two of them. Very similar to Dorking's goal. Now, for me, that is something that needs addressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we were 3-0 up at the time. Yes, it's a consolation. Yes, it was a very good goal and the keeper wasn't going to stop it. But why is nobody challenging for that header? Because it
Do you think we missed Hayden?
Oh,
Do you think he would have
well, you don't know, do you?
No, you don't.
You don't know. No. But, I think, you've got to make sure you're switched on all the time and you're challenging for them headers. So that's one thing that does worry me a little bit. Yeah, like I said, they're very good going forward, but without the ball, I think there's a lot of work that Dorking need to do. I can see them going forward and scoring goals against teams, which they have been. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Although, without the ball, I think they're quite misshapen at times, and I think teams are attacking them quite easily. I think it was the perfect time for us to play them. We'd had a couple of dodgy games. For a team to be that open without the ball helped us massively.
Yeah. And
it was a good time for us to build some confidence up, playing a team like that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I thought it was the perfect time. Mullin scored a good goal. Again, nice little finish in the corner.
Should have had a penalty.
Yes, we should have had a penalty. I think refs are
blatantly. The player pushed him over.
Massive shove in the back.
It wasn't a little dig. It was a proper shove in the back.
The other thing, the ref put his hand out, so the ref saw it. He did see it and said, "No, I'm not giving that." So
absolutely, I think my brother swore and said it was an F disgrace.
It was awful, but again, I just can't give the referees. I can't give the referees in this league any more airtime.
No,
because it's just
Sort it out, ref.
It is so poor.
It was, yeah. The fact that the ref saw that though is just like diabolical. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Should we have scored more in the second half? If we're gonna pick at the performance and sort of, try and find some
well, like my
negatives.
prediction was 5-0, so yeah, 2 more goals would have been nice. Well, actually, it wouldn't have made any difference because they'd scored, so it wasn't a clean sheet.
I think it was one of them games, wasn't it, where yes, it would have been nice to get some more goals, but we got 3. It wasn't like we beat them 1-0 and it was a little bit scrappy and nervy. We did get 3 and we created chances as well. And we could have scored more goals, but if you're going to take one negative from it, it probably should have been 5 or 6 with the chances that we had.
Didn't we beat them 5-0?
Away.
Yeah,
we did.
So arguably, we should have got more than 5.
Well, maybe.
At home with all our fans there.
Yeah, it's one of them. It was, it would have been nice to have a few more goals, but do you think the performance was somewhat of a return to good form, or did the opposition help us out quite a bit in looking better than maybe we are?
I don't know. I am going to reserve judgment
until Tuesday.
Because I think, although we're going to discuss Chesterfield in a minute, but I think although Chesterfield haven't been doing amazingly well, I do still think it's going to be a tough game on Tuesday. Yeah,
massive. I think
so. I'm going to reserve judgment on that question until after.
Okay, I'll try and remember to ask it to you next week.
Yes.
So man of the match was Elliot Lee.
Sam Dalby for me all day long.
We both disagreed, didn't we? We thought Sam Dalby was excellent.
Even before they had mentioned that it was definitely...
we were 100%. It was Sam Dalby yesterday.
I think Elliot Lee's paying someone to get him man of the match.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Good. He was superb yesterday. He was very, very good. But for us, both of us said the same thing separately, and we both thought Sam deserved man of the match yesterday. We thought he was very, very good. And he's starting to grow into a very good player, isn't he?
As soon as he comes on that pitch, he is amazing.
Question for you then.
Okay.
Is Ollie playing for us next season?
I think he will.
Yeah?
I think he will, yeah. Maybe not as many games. Maybe he will do what he's doing at the moment. Maybe he's, he needs to take a step back a little bit for players like Dalby because...
Well, he's 32, isn't he, Ollie? Or he will be 32 by the end of the season. I'm not sure if he's
just had a birthday.
32 then.
So I think for me, I mean, I like Ollie Palmer. I think he is a good player. But the past few games, it feels like, and we have discussed this before, but it feels like his head is just not in the same place as it was when he joined us last season.
The reason I asked the question, Sam's starting to perform. He's starting to look good. He had a shot in the first half against Dorking, a left-footed strike. The commentator described it as venomous. A bit of a shout-out to the Dorking keeper, actually. He made a very good save from that. And it wasn't the only one. He made a few decent saves, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
Back to the reason I asked the question. Sam's starting to look like a decent player.
Yeah,
he's starting to.
Definitely.
There's still a lot of work he's got to do. He's still very young.
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, and there's still work that he needs to do.
Yeah,
he needs to be a little bit more sort of selfish and clinical. There was one opportunity he had where he was 1-on-1 with the keeper and he tried to pass it across to Paul yesterday, and it didn't.
And Paul was just
and it didn't really go very well. He needs to be more selfish in that situation. He needs to be shooting. Forget who's next year.
Absolutely.
Forget that Paul scored 30 goals this season. It doesn't matter. Shoot.
Has he been told to be like that though?
No, he wouldn't have been. No, be selfish. Take your chances. If you've got a chance to shoot, just take it.
I think
I guarantee you Paul isn't passing it in that situation.
No.
Paul's shooting.
And
then, so that's...
He's heading for a hat-trick every single game, isn't he? That's what he wants.
Yeah, so you've just got... There's a few things he needs to work on. But he's looking like a really good player. And if that is the way Phil Parkinson's going to start going more and more and more and more, by the start of next season, Ollie's got 18 months left on his contract. So he will be coming towards, not even 18 months, more like 17, 16. So you're coming towards the last year of your contract.
Mm-hmm.
His family don't live up here. His family live in London.
Yeah.
Ollie doesn't train with the team every day.
No.
He has special dispensation to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not training with them day in, day out. You're not, when you are up here, perhaps you're not getting as much game time as you would like to be getting. You want to be playing every game. If you start getting...
If you're making that journey up every week,
and if you're starting to get less and less and less game time, and Sam's getting more and more and more, is that the point where you go, time for me to go?
Do you think there would be some sort of resentment between him and Sam, or
No.
him and Parky even? Because obviously Parky's the one that makes the decision who is going to be playing.
It depends on the individual. I think it depends on the individual. But it was a question I was just wondering, and I think it'd be interesting to see if he's still here next season, because I get the feeling Sam's going to start getting a lot more game time.
I love Sam. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, so do
I really do love him.
So Notts County lost.
Oh my god!
Oh
my god!
We cheered the Dagenham goal like Wrexham had scored, didn't we?
Do you know what? And a lot of people said that.
Yeah.
It was the most intense. I said this is like the most intense game I have watched in a long time.
It was full on, wasn't it? It was
Dagenham were like not for giving up. They were like no, and then Effiong came on, and it was like bang.
Yeah.
Another goal.
I think they only had 2 shots all game, and I think they scored off both of them. Notts County battered them.
They did.
But defensively, they were amazing. They were a complete unit, Dagenham. They were just brilliant. Hopefully, fingers crossed when we play them.
They don't play as
in 10 days or whatever it
10
is.
days.
That maybe they're not as good as that.
Yeah, but it's away, isn't it? So
it is away, and we notoriously struggle at Dagenham.
And so I read at Dagenham and Redbridge actually, their manager had left
that
like
day.
12 hours previously to the game.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah. They just wanted, it's a good opportunity to show, look, we're together as a team.
Yeah, which they were. And Effiong said that in his interview, didn't he? They said they were very well together. So yeah.
Well done, boys.
Well done, Dags.
Yes. Daggers. Dags. Dags.
Dags.
You like Dags?
I like Dags.
Anyway.
Chesterfield.
Yes. So we'll quickly run through. So as we've already alluded to, it's a massive game. So tell us.
But you're saying it's a massive game, but like I said, I did say it was going to be a massive game, but I was looking at their past few games.
Yeah.
And, they've not been...
No, they lost on Saturday to Oldham, didn't they? 1-0 at home.
Which is arguably, and that was at home?
Yes, that was at home.
That's a bit...
There was a little bit of an altercation with a fan. One of their players was shouting. I think somebody had shouted some abuse. The player went over and started shouting back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that was on Twitter yesterday. So they're in trouble really.
So they haven't won a National League game since the 24th of January.
A long time, that, isn't it?
It's a while ago, considering we're in March on Wednesday.
They've only won 2 in 2023.
And we've won
9. So that's a big difference there. And they've definitely, at one point when we did the Bryn Law interview, which isn't that long ago, we were talking with him about it being there's 3 people in this title race, and there really isn't. We're miles ahead of Chesterfield now in that short time since that, and it just shows how quickly things can change.
But we're consistent, so that's...
Any players that we need to keep an eye out for at Chesterfield?
Is it Dobra?
Armando Dobra.
Dobra.
He's
their top scorer at the moment.
He is. He's a very good player. He caused us problems when we played them away. Decent player. Need to keep an eye on him. I'm not worried about Tuesday.
You know?
No. I think we've got this. I think they're in turmoil at the moment, Chesterfield. Last few seasons, this is what Chesterfield have done. They've gone on this big run where they look like this is their year, they're going to challenge for it, and they just fall away.
Is there anything in the background that's caused this, or is it just...
Was last season. They had a bit of an incident with their manager where he threatened a fan, and they ended up getting rid of him. And at the point when that... At the point when that happened... They, I don't know if that was the official statement, but it's what happened because I saw the video. But after that, they tailed away and they were poor.
Maybe that's what's happening.
I don't know. But predictions?
I'm gonna be conservative.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say 2-1. 2-1.
2-1. I'm going to go for 3-0. I'm going to go for a big win.
I'm going to go for 3-0.
But they're struggling at the moment. Their last season at this point, they were on 62 points. This season, they're on 55. They've also scored 5 less and conceded 5 more. They've also lost 4 more than at this time last season.
And they haven't won a game since the 24th of Jan.
No.
So fingers crossed, their bad luck reigns on Tuesday. It's a home game.
Talking of predictions, I got one right.
Did you?
This week, yes, I got the Scunthorpe one right. I went 2-0, 2-0, didn't I? So I got the Scunthorpe one right at 2-0. You got, none. Anyway.
Alfie nearly won. He predicted 3-0, so he was like...
Yes, for Saturday, yeah.
For the Saturday game against Dorking. So yeah, he was a little bit good that he didn't...
Yeah, that they scored.
When we got the third goal, he was like, my prediction! And then,
No. So then next Saturday we've got Maidenhead away.
Yes.
That is going to be on BT Sport. So for anyone
later.
who's got BT Sport, also obviously be on National League TV. So that is on at 5:20.
Kick-off 5:20.
5:20 kick-off, so we'll be able to watch that one. Tell us some stuff.
Tell you some stats?
Yeah.
Some tough stuff.
Yes.
So, Maidenhead, they're currently 14th.
Yes.
They finished the season last season 17th, so not far off what they're on now.
Yeah.
Their top scorer is it Aqua? I don't know.
Go on, keep trying.
Aqua. Well, when I wrote the name down in my notes, it auto-corrected to Aquafit. Yeah. So let's call him Aquafit.
I think his name's Emil Akua.
Akua, that's it.
So.
Akua.
He's scored 9 goals. He's been around a few sort of teams. Looks all right.
Yeah.
Looks
so
quite decent.
In November, we played them at home and we beat them 1-0.
Yes.
Which is not an amazing score.
No,
really,
I'll take 1-0 again.
Yeah, exactly. Their last few results against, so they played Eastleigh away, they lost 1-0. Yeah. They played Yeovil away, they won 2-0.
Yeah.
And they played Halifax at home and they won 1-0. And then
no, they played Halifax on Saturday and they were away.
Were they?
Yeah, they beat them 1-0.
Okay. Anyway, their next game is against the Daggers.
On
Tuesday. So
keep an eye out for that one then.
Yeah.
Because we're playing both of them teams
quite close together
in the next sort of week.
Well, we're playing. I think we're playing Maidenhead on the 7th of March.
Maidenhead on the Saturday and then Dagenham on the Tuesday.
Yeah. So, both away.
I don't do dates. I just do names of days. So yeah. No, they're 14th, like you said, on 39 points. This point last season they were 19th. So 5 places worse off, but they were only 3 points worse off than they are now. So they're quite consistent, I would say.
Consistently bad, or
no, they're just consistent, aren't they? But it'll be a tough game. I will go. I'll go for 2-0 in that one.
I'm going to go for 3-0.
Okay. So a little bit of news just to run through. We're running out of time rapidly, but a little bit of news. So Rob Lainton extended his contract.
He did.
Until the end of the 23-24 season.
Is brilliant.
With an appearance-related extension for a further season as well.
I don't know what that means.
So if he plays a lot of games, there'll be a clause in his contract that he can have another year.
Are they going to let him play another game so they can?
We'll find out what happens Tuesday, won't we?
Yeah.
And then he might be our number 1 moving forward.
I think it was Friday, was it? Rob, yes, it was Friday. Yeah. They signed Ryan Barnett.
Yes.
From Solihull Moors.
Yeah.
He is a winger.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a wing back cover because Anthony Ford was very much a winger before we signed him, and we've stuck him in a wing back position,
which he does really well in.
He does really well. The only slightly concerning thing is that if that is what the plan is for him, is when you sign wingers, they're very much attacking players, and then they get asked to be a wing back, which is a mix of attacking and defending. If you've been a winger all your life, sometimes you struggle with the defensive side of the game. I don't know. It'd be one to keep an eye out. We mentioned it might have been nice to see him on Saturday.
Yeah, maybe Tuesday.
The Dorking game. Don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah. So also as well, it's been unconfirmed, It's not been confirmed. It has been tweeted about that the pre-season tour of the USA.
Yeah, so it's sort of confirmed and unconfirmed.
Not confirmed, yeah. I think what they've said is, for Wrexham fans or whoever, do not book your tickets for anything because it is not. It's very much on its way, but it's still not confirmed. So yeah,
it's confirmed we're going to do it, but it's unconfirmed in the sense of we don't know where exactly it's going to be, and also we haven't 100% put pen to paper to say we're going to go and do this.
But it has been said if we do it, Rob and Ryan will be playing.
No.
Yes.
No, Rob and Ryan are going to play in the tournament in North Carolina. I think that's where you're getting a bit mixed up.
Oh, is that not the same thing?
No, it's not.
Oh,
so that's something else.
Oh my
God. So the tournament, that's the $1 million prize tournament.
And that's what they're playing
So there's going to be some ex-players in that, like Sean Pearson. But Rob and Ryan have also been signed up as players to play in that as well. Because it's a little bit of a fun tournament. So this tour of America is very much a first team, going out and potentially playing Man United and Chelsea. There's been rumours that we might be playing them.
Why does it have to be in the USA though?
But it's about global appeal now. So,
but arguably,
we will play games in this country. It's about sharing it around.
And that's good because I think it's not fair. We are living in a living crisis across cost of living crisis, and expecting Wrexham fans to head over to the USA.
It's more of a chance for the American fans to watch.
Which would be cool. Yeah. Okay.
So the American fans will potentially get to watch Wrexham playing Man United and Chelsea. We'll probably get another trip to Nantwich.
Oh my God, can you imagine? I'm not doing it.
Anyway, season ticket renewals are on sale as of today. So if you've got a season ticket, you can now log on and pay for it. For next season. So if that's you, then crack on with that.
Also, quickly discussions about the new shirts as well. Obviously, the home one is going to be red. Obviously, the away one's going to be white, and the third kit is going to be black.
I'm excited for the black one.
And you sent a picture on the we've got like a little Wrexham WhatsApp group, and you sent a picture of a black.
It's a full blackout kit. So
I don't like it.
No, it's very Marmite. I love it. See, I sent you a picture, and your brother loves it as well. It's like I sent you a picture of the Borussia Dortmund blackout kit. So it's a black shirt with a black sponsor and a black badge, and everything's black on it. And you've got to have quite an understanding sponsor for that one, because you can barely see the sponsor. But I love it, and I'm hoping that is what we're doing.
If TikTok is still sponsoring us next season, I can't see it being
No, it's only a third kit, so it's not going to be used all the time.
Yeah, that's true. But you still want it.
Yeah. I'll rush through some people who got in touch. So we had, I said last week that fans' heads had fallen off, and I tried to explain what that meant. Summer got in touch to say in Canada, we say his head exploded, and it happens regularly with hockey fans.
Mm-hmm.
We had David Middleton. He said Hayden needs to get back. He and Owen will be a shutdown at centre-back. Unfortunately, Owen's out for a bit now, David.
Yes, so. I've got I want to say this. On Thursday, I went to the Racecourse for work, and I saw Paul Mullen walk past me on his phone. Yeah. Didn't say anything to him. I saw Bryce, Reese, and I saw Owen with a boot on.
A big boot.
A boot on. A big boot on his foot. So I'm not sure what's the crack with that, but
no, so he's injured at the moment. So fingers crossed he comes back soon, just to give us a few extra options in defence. Anyway, Jan got in touch to say enjoyable podcast. He was very honest about his career. So this was about the Lee Jones interview that we did last week, and how he felt he should have worked harder. I hope his predictions for Wrexham this season are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Jennifer Jones?
Yeah, Jennifer also got in touch as well, just to say what an interesting hour. Really enjoyed listening to it. A real insight into a footballer's life and how different it is now. And Norman also got in touch to say great interview. So
we had a message from Jonathan Jonathan Otis, wow, what a day of football. I know it's not always going to be like this, but thanks to you, we understand the club, the players, and the game well enough to make it mean something. Really appreciate your commentary and analysis. The bonus episode this week was a wonderful addition, which was nice.
Yeah.
We've also had a message from, I carry on because I can't find the message.
Anyway, if you want to get in touch, you can get in touch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or email us at methewife@wrexhamafc@gmail.com.
Yes.
Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. So it's a mental health peer support group. It happens on Zoom every week, and it's an opportunity for people who might be struggling to have a chat with like-minded footballers.
Mm-hmm.
We will share that this Thursday. But if you don't spot it on our page, head over to the Wrexham AFC page on Facebook and Twitter. They share details of how to get on the Zoom call on there. Alternatively, if you are watching on YouTube, there'll be a link to it all down in the description. And that is on 7 p.m. on Thursday. So, what time is it? What time is it, Sharon?
Home time.
It's not home time. It's quiz time.
Quiz time,
yeah. So, I know sometimes you struggle with coming up with answers for questions in your head. So, I've gone back to multiple choice for you, because I know you like a bit of multiple choice.
I do like a bit of multiple choice.
Yes.
Life should be a multiple choice.
Life is multiple choice. That's exactly what life is. You get a situation, you can do that, you can do that, you can do that. Yeah. Come on, get a grip, woman. Anyway. Question 1.
Yes.
Elliot Lee scored against Dorking.
Yes.
As we have discussed.
Mm-hmm.
But how many goals has he scored this season? Is it 5? Is it 8? Or is it 11?
9. Was that an option?
That wasn't an option.
Wasn't it an option?
Was it?
What was the option?
It's not a trick question. Is it 5, 8, or 11?
8.
It is 8. Well done. That was Wrexham's 33rd game of the season. But which player has played every minute of them 33 league games? Is it Ben Tozer, Luke Young, or Paul Mullin?
Ben Tozer.
It is Ben Tozer. Well done. Luke Young is second on the list for minutes played. What is the only game this season he didn't play in? Is it Chesterfield away, Gateshead at home, or Southend away? See, I picked games that we didn't go to.
Gateshead.
Gateshead at home? Incorrect. He didn't play at Chesterfield. He didn't play.
Why didn't he play at Chesterfield?
I don't know. I'm not sure. He didn't, though. Question 4. Which player has the least minutes on the pitch in the National League for us this season? And this is from players who have actually played minutes this season. Okay, so it's not like Rory Watson, who hasn't played a single minute.
Yeah.
The least amount of minutes for us in the National League this season. Is it Reece Hall-Johnson, Harry Lennon, or Bryce Hosanna?
Harry Lennon.
It's not Harry Lennon.
Really?
It's Reece Hall-Johnson. So Reece Hall-Johnson has only played 44 minutes in the league this season.
So how many has Harry Lennon played then?
77, I think.
Oh yeah, because he did. Yeah, he did play. Yeah. Okay.
So okay. Question 5.
Yes.
Wrexham get goals from all over the pitch. I like doing a little run into the question. From the list, who is the only player to have not scored in the league this season? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Tunnicliffe, Jordan Davis, or Callum McFadzean?
Callum McFadzean.
Correct. Well done. That was quite a tough one because I thought you might have gone for Jordan Davis because he'd been out for so long.
No. I know he scored goals.
Yeah.
And I definitely know Jordan as well.
Yeah.
So,
Jordan Tunnicliffe's only scored 1.
So he still scored.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That was fun, wasn't it?
It was amazing.
It was a bit of felt like a bit of a rush at the end. It was like, oh, time's running out.
So thank you for joining us again for episode 33. We shall see you next week for episode 34. Have a great week and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye.